When the devil wants to destroy a home, he doesn't always come with fire or anger. Sometimes he comes with beauty, kindness, and a soft voice. And before you know it, the strongest walls begin to crumble. Not every friend who prays with you prays for you. Some kneel beside you only to study where your blessings lie, so they can take them when your guard is down. Some battles in marriage are not fought with fists or words, but with silence, temptation, and the unseen evil of a heart that envied love it never had. She got the title, the mansion, and the man, but not the peace that comes with true love. Because what starts with deceit must end in destruction. When envy, greed, and deceit build a home, peace becomes a stranger, and love turns into poison. Sometimes blessings come dressed as miracles, but not every miracle comes from God. She brought another woman into her home out of love, out of compassion, out of faith. But love without wisdom can open doors the devil himself will walk through. Not every friend who laughs with you loves you. Some are only waiting for the day your kindness becomes your greatest regret. One afternoon, Chief Arinze and Lucy had just left for social occasion. Their laughter still echoed faintly as the car drove off. The house was peaceful. Mrs. Rose, dressed in a simple gown, began to tidy the living room, humming softly as she arranged the pillows on the couch. Then she noticed something on the couch. Lucy's phone, face down, still unlocked. Just as she reached out for it, a message popped up on the screen. The sender's name froze her in place. Desmond, my love. Her hand trembled as she picked it up. The message read, my love, remember our plan. Once Chief sent the money, move half to my account. We will leave before anyone suspects. Mrs. Rose's heart skipped. She blinked, reading it again. Her breath caught in her throat. Desmond, she whispered, remembering that name, the same man Lucy once called a distant cousin. Her curiosity turned into fear. Slowly she sat down. One tab led her into a world she never imagined. Messages, voice notes, pictures, all there. Tears buried Mrs. Rose's eyes. Her throat burned as she scrolled, each message slicing deeper than the last. No, this can't be true. But deep down, something told her it is. She stood apparently, her mind racing, the laughter, the fake humility, Lucy's sudden generosity, the late night phone calls, the unexplained absence. It all began to connect, like pieces of a cursed puzzle. Then she saw the gallery, hidden in a private folder. Photos of Lucy and Desmond together, holding hands, kissing, and one picture that shattered her completely. Lucy visible, pregnant, smiling in Desmond's arms. Mrs. Rose's hands covered her mouth to stop a scream. She staggered back, the phone nearly slipping from her hand. Oh God, no, no, no. Lucy, she cried in a whisper. Not you. Not after all I did for you. Her mind raced, her chest pounding, but instead of shouting, she stayed herself. A quiet, dangerous calm replaced her tears. She walked straight to Lucy's room, her steps slow but firm. The door cracked open. The scent of expensive perfume filled the air. She searched drawers, boxes, handbags, and then, in a small brown envelope hidden under a stack of clothes, she found it. A hospital document. Her eyes widened as she read. Paternity test result. Mother, Lucy Daniels. Alleged father, Desmond Okoro. Result, 99% match. Her knee weakened. She dropped onto the bed, clutching the paper, her tears flowing freely. But just as she thought her heart couldn't take more, she found another file, old photographs, receipts, and a letter that made her gasp. It was a letter written years back from Lucy to Chief Arinze, confessing her love and seduction attempts while they were younger. He never told her. So it is true, Mrs. Rose whispered, her voice breaking. She's been after him for years. Her pain turned into deep, fiery resolve. She wiped her tears, snapped photos of every document, every messages, every proof. Then she hid them in her phone, but she needed confirmation, something no one could deny. She visited the hospital secretly to confirm her growing suspicion. The results made her cry in silence for hours. The dates didn't align. Lucy had been pregnant before her supposed conception period with Chief Arinze. That child, the heir everyone worshipped, was not his. She gathered quietly, receipts, transfer slip, bank alerts, printed from the manager who trusted her from years of helping with Chief Arinze's business files. That night was heavy, wind rustling the curtains, the ticking clock echoing through the quiet mansion. Mrs. Rose sat on the edge of her bed. Sleep had become a stranger. Her mind replayed every smile, every sweet word, every act of betrayal, Lucy's fake laughter, the whispers, the sudden change after childbirth. Then she opened her drawer slowly, pulling out an envelope filled with the evidence she had gathered over the last few weeks. Hospital test results, secret phone recordings, printed bank statements showing Lucy's strange transaction with a name that appeared over and over again, Desmond. Her hands trembled as she flipped through the pages. So it is true, she whispered, her voice breaking. Her heart ached, not from anger, but from the deep wound of betrayal by her husband's second wife, by her old friend she once called sister. She rose to her feet and walked to the mirror, staring at her own reflection, tired eyes, weary face, but a woman who refused to break down. You wanted to destroy my peace, Lucy, she murmured, tears rolling down her cheeks. But you forget, I am a woman who built this house with love and prayers. I won't fight you with anger. I will fight you with the truth. Thunder rumbled faintly outside. The words of her late mother echoed in her mind. When betrayal hides in the dark, don't shout. Wait for light. It will expose everything. Then it hit her. The perfect moment to strike. The Thanksgiving Day. The very day Lucy had planned to shine before the world, to show off the baby and her victory. Mrs. Rose's lips curved into a sad, bitter smile. Yes, she whispered, almost to herself. You wanted a show, Lucy. Then I will give you one, before God and before men. The truth will walk with me that day. Something inside her snapped, not in anger, but in resolve. She stared at the hospital test results, the photos, secret phone records, and she whispered, her voice low but firm. You have played with fire, Lucy, but on Thanksgiving Day, the fire will speak. A storm was coming, and this time, Mrs. Rose was ready. Mrs. Rose sank slowly onto her knees, clutching the envelope to her chest, and prayed softly through her tears. Lord, you see my pain. You know I never wish her harm, but let your light speak where my voice has been silenced. Let truth defend me. The Okafor Mansion was glowing again, or so it seemed. Thanksgiving was approaching, and the family was planning a grand celebration for the baby's dedication. Guests from the city and the village were expected. Mama Arinze boasted to everyone, "We will dance. My grandson is a blessing to this lineage." But deep inside that same mansion, Mrs. Rose had stopped sleeping. Every smile she gave was carefully rehearsed. Every good morning to Lucy was measured and calm. She had learned that when the enemy is watching, peace becomes a weapon. The D-Day. The church was filled with laughter, dancing, and celebration. The choir's voice soared as Lucy, elegantly dressed, carrying her baby boy, the supposed heir, while guests sang praises and showered her with gifts. Chief Arinze stood tall beside her, pride glowing on his face. Mrs. Rose, in her calm poise, smiled softly, holding her daughters close. But behind that gentle smile lay a heart burning with truth and betrayal. Then, as the pastor finished praying, Mrs. Rose stood up slowly from her seat. Her face was calm, her eyes wet, but her voice clear, firm, unshakable. Today, I want to thank God for the truth. The compound fell silent. For months, I have prayed. I have smiled through pain. and I have trusted that God will fight for me. Today he has. She turned towards Chief Arinze, who looked confused. She reached into her handbag and brought out a brown envelope. Inside this are bank receipts. Transfers made from your account to one Desmond Okechukwu. Here are phone messages between your wife Lucy and this same Desmond, plotting to take your money and run away after this celebration. And here her voice broke. Is a medical report proving that the child you hold so proudly was already 2 weeks conceived before Lucy came into this house. The documents fell open for everyone to see. DNA results confirming Desmond as the father. The crowd gasped. Mama Arinze dropped her glass. It shattered. Chief Arinze froze, staring at Lucy in disbelief. Lucy, he barked. What is this? What is she saying? Lucy's face turned pale. It's a lie. She's framing me. But Rose wasn't done. She lifted her phone and played a recording. Lucy's voice, soft and venomous. From a night she had been speaking with Desmond. Once he named the boy, we are gone. The fool believes everything I say. Lucy recorded. Enough! Chief Arinze thundered, calling 2 security men. Call the police. Let her answer for this betrayal. The crowd went silent. Then murmurs, then shame. Lucy dropped to her knees, tears streaming down her face. Please, Chief, please forgive me. It was the devil, she cried. Within minutes, police officers arrived. The sound of handcuffs clicking echoed through the mansion. Lucy's cry turned into wails as she was dragged away, screaming, I didn't mean to hurt you, Rose. Chief Arinze turned to Rose, who stood trembling but unbroken. Her tears now rolled freely, her strength visible even in her pain. I tried to protect this home, she said softly. I brought her here because I loved you. But love without wisdom can destroy everything it touches. That night, the Okafor Mansion, once filled with laughter, music, and joy, was quiet as a graveyard. The guests were gone. The decorations still hung in the wind like ghosts of forced happiness. Desmond's betrayal came swiftly after that. When he heard of the public scandal, he vanished. By morning, Chief Arinze entered Mrs. Rose's room slowly, the same room he had not visited in weeks. She was on her knees, praying, her daughters by her side. He stood by the door quietly, listening to her voice. Lord, thank you. You fought my battle. I didn't raise my hand, but you raised yours. I forgive those who meant me harm, because you have restored my peace. Tears rolled down his face. When she finished, he knelt beside her, something she had never seen him do before. Rose, he whispered, I failed you. I let my mother's words blind me. I let a stranger into our home. Please forgive me. Mrs. Rose looked at him, her heart heavy but soft. Chief, forgiveness is not hard, but healing takes time, she said gently. He nodded, broken. Then I will wait, even if it takes forever. Later that week, Mama Arinze came visiting. Her pride was gone, her eyes red with tears. She held Mrs. Rose's hands tightly. My daughter, she said trembling, I was wrong. I let ignorance make me wicked. Please forgive me. Mrs. Rose looked into her eyes and sighed deeply. I forgive you, Mama. The battle wasn't mine. It was God. Mama Arinze wept on her knees. Chief Arinze watched quietly, realizing that love, when tested by fire, either burns away or becomes stronger. One Sunday afternoon, as the sun bathed the compound in golden light, Mrs. Rose sat on the veranda with her girls. Chief Arinze joined them, holding her hand, something he hadn't done in years. Rose, he said softly, you were right all along. A good woman is a blessing no gold can buy. She smiled faintly, her eyes glistening. And a good man is one who learns before it's too late. They both laughed, not because the pain was gone, but because healing had finally begun. It had been 5 years since the storm tore through Chief Arinze's mansion. Betrayal was exposed. Forgiveness was offered and peace was restored. The mansion that was once echoed with anger and tears now carried the sound of laughter again, the laughter of Mrs. Rose's three beautiful daughters running through the garden, their voice mingling with the morning breeze. Mrs. Rose had healed. Her heart was lighter now, though her womb had been declared raptured years ago. She had learned to accept her daughters as her full blessings. Life was peaceful again, and that was enough until the miracle happened. One sunny afternoon, Mrs. Rose fainted in the kitchen while preparing lunch. Chief Arinze rushed her to the hospital, his heart pounding as he drove like a madman. When the doctor walked into his office, holding a file and smiling, after running test and scan, Chief Arinze stood up anxiously. Doctor, please, is she all right? He asked, voice trembling. The doctor smiled wider. Chief, your wife isn't sick. She's expecting. Chief blinked in despair. Expecting? Expecting what? A baby, Chief. She's pregnant, the doctor said. The words hit him like lightning. He froze, staring at the doctor. That's impossible. The last result said, her womb, the doctor nodded. We know, sir. That's why it is a miracle. We have run the test 3 times. She's truly pregnant. Tears filled Chief Arinze's eyes. He sank into the chair, whispering, God, after all these years. From that day, Mrs. Rose was placed under strict medical supervision. Every week, the doctors checked her carefully, her pulse, her heartbeat, the baby's growth. Chief Arinze never left her side. He prayed with her every night, held her hands at every hospital visit, and spoiled her with care and gratitude. The family gathered for devotion daily, and the mansion, once filled with sorrow, became a home of thanksgiving. At exactly 38 weeks, Mrs. Rose went into labor. The doctor decided on a cesarean section to protect her. Chief Arinze knelt in the waiting room, tears streaming down his face as he prayed. Hours passed. Then the cry of a newborn pierced the air. A nurse ran out smiling. Congratulations, sir. It's a bouncing baby boy. Chief Arinze covered his face, crying uncontrollably. He fell to his knees right there in the hospital corridor. God, you are faithful. You restored everything I lost and more. Mama Arinze held the baby gently, her old eyes filled with tears. This child, she said softly, is proof that God forgives and restores. At his own time, he will make it happen. Chief Arinze stood proudly beside his wife as he lifted the baby. His name shall be called Chimobim Emmanuel Okafor, which means my God knows my heart and God is with us. His home glowed once more, not from wealth and status, but from love, forgiveness, and the miracle of a faithful God. In life, not every smile is sincere. Some people come into your life not to stay, but to study your weakness and use it against you. Mrs. Rose's story reminds us that sometimes betrayal does not come from enemies. It comes from those we once called friends. Some people will walk into our life just to remind you that discernment is a gift. When men said it was over, God said it was just the beginning. And remember this, a home built on lies will always collapse, but a woman who prays will always rise from the ashes. Her story is a proof that no wound is too deep for God to heal. Thank you for watching. Please turn the notification bell for more interesting stories. I love you all. Bye.